Spirit Halloween has once again updated their website, releasing the newest group of animatronics that will be returning for the 2024 season. So without any further ado, let's take a look at the 4 brand new returning props for Spirit Halloween 2024. Just a week ago, Spirit Halloween released a group of animatronics that you are seeing on screen now, and all of us may have been shocked by their return or expecting them to return, but what we really weren't expecting was another group of 4 animatronics that would be returning once again only a week later. Now, I clearly stated in my last video that I had a feeling that Spirit Halloween would return another group of animatronics, but I really wasn't expecting it this soon. So without any further ado, I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Let's hop straight into the first animatronic that will be returning for the 2024 season. Now, the first one that will be returning for the 2024 season was the 2023 Gordo animatronic. Now, I personally was expecting this one to return. I mean, it had a large amount of sales and people really enjoyed the concept of the prop. So I'm genuinely not shocked that Spirit Halloween isn't returning Gordo. What I am shocked with, though, is that his price is staying the same as it was last year instead of rising. Now, if you know how Spirit Halloween works, you'll know that every time a Spirit Halloween prop returns, or at least like 90% of the time, they will add a $10 bump up to the animatronic just to get a couple more bucks out of the sale. Now, what I'm shocked at is that Gordo's price remains the exact same as it was last year, not raising at all. Now, this could mean a couple things. First and foremost, Spirit Halloween just didn't feel like adding a couple more bucks to it, whatever headquarter reason that may be. And number 2, which makes me a lot more excited if it is possible, is that he might be a prop that returns every single year, like the sitting scarecrow, and they'll keep his price the same for a couple of years, eventually entirely dropping his price to some crazy price like $99.99. Now, if that's the case, that would be so awesome because he really is an awesome prop and he does deserve the recognition. But that being said, Gordo will be returning for the 2023 season. The next one on this list is the 2023 Blackheart. Now, some people were expecting him, some people were not. Personally, I was shocked that he didn't return it at the time, but now I'm getting a lot of answers to those unanswered questions as to why they weren't getting returned. They were, we just had to wait a little bit longer. The Blackheart was honestly one of the cooler props that I saw from last year. I mean, his face looked amazing. I'm not a big fan that it was plastic, but I heard, and I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on this, but I did hear that the Blackheart's head would get resculpted into a latex mold, the one that all of us have been wanting. Now, if that's the case, I don't think I could pass up on buying him. If he remains his plastic head and that rumor is false, that's not a big deal. I mean, either way, we are getting the Blackheart. But if that rumor stays strong and his head does get replaced in the 2024 season with a latex version, I honestly think his sales would skyrocket. I mean, the Blackheart is one that all of us loved. It's just a Reaper animatronic. There's nothing crazy about it. Sure, he has that arm that opens up and there's a possessed or deranged or dead girl. I'm not 100% sure his story, but either way, just from a first glance, he screams Halloween, being that classic Grim Reaper style animatronic. And honestly, I don't think that I have met anybody who didn't like him. Now, the next one on this list is one that I'm a little shocked is returning because his sales weren't that good. That is the 2023 Dagger Mike. Now, Dagger Mike, don't get me wrong, was a cool jump scare prop, but I just don't see why he is returning, if I'm being fully honest. But at the same time, a week ago, we did have the Cauldronist return, which also wasn't bought that much. So Spirit Halloween does have these random little like returns that no one really expected. Every once in a while, they'll throw one of those in there, and Dagger Mike is definitely the one for this year. I mean, so far, the 2 props that I went over, Gordo and the Blackheart, have been animatronics that we've been wanting since 2023 came out. We wanted them to return. I mean, clearly, we bought so many of them. Like, they were always sold out at local stores. But Dagger Mike, didn't see him purchase that much. I mean, don't get me wrong, he wasn't in my local store. Like, as soon as they had him in stock, he was sold out. So maybe there is just a hidden purchasing that I am not really seeing, but he is apparently getting purchased a lot because Spirit Halloween wouldn't return him if no one wanted him. Now the last one on this list, which is one that I am very shocked, like the most shocked that it's returning, which is why I have waited to tell you till the very end, and that was the 2021, yes, 2021 and 2022 Mr. Dark. Now, don't get me wrong, he was purchased a lot. I mean, he was really loved in the community. I have him, he's an amazing animatronic. Literally all of the people that I know have purchased Mr. Dark. But he didn't get sold last year. In fact, we had a reskin, which was Hellspawn, and yet he skipped a year and is returning again. I don't fully understand why Spirit did this. I mean, he had a return in 2022, so there he had 2 years, 2021, 2022. He skipped 2023, we had a reskin of him, and then he's back for 2024. Now this could mean a couple things. Number one, Spirit Halloween just made a mistake. They took him away in 2023, realized that it was such a staple prop and they made so much money off of him that they're like, shoot, we made a mistake, let's bring him back. Second, it could possibly be like a weird flashback Friday, like some weird flashback thing, and bunch of people were really wanting him, and Spirit Halloween's like, okay, we'll bring him back, kind of like a flashback Friday sort of thing. I don't really know. And number three, it could also just become another one of those animatronics that return every single year, which I kind of hope not, because he's really cool, but I don't know. I hope he doesn't return every single year. I hope that's not the one. My assumption is that Spirit just made a mistake. They didn't bring him back in 2023, realized they lost out on a lot of sales, and they're like, okay, let's just bring him back so people don't complain sort of thing. But I could be totally wrong on that. As far as I was reading up on them, all 4 of them will be sold in stores and not online, unlike the last couple, which are still unknown to this day. Either way, I think that's going to wrap up my video. I mean, I went over the 4 brand new returning props for the 2024 season. I'm super pumped about all 4 of these animatronics. They're super cool. Dagger Mike and Mr. Dark really got me off a limb here. Like, I genuinely was not expecting those 2 animatronics to return. Gordo and Mr. Dark make a lot more sense in my opinion. I mean, they are really loved in the community, and they were from last year. But Dagger Mike, which was not sold a lot in my opinion, and Mr. Dark, which is from like 3 years ago, it doesn't make that much sense to me. But either way, we are getting these returning props. Now, to anyone who's wondering where I got this information from, because it's not really seen too much on YouTube right now, there was actually this article that I saw on the Spirit Halloween wiki, which you can go check out, and it actually has a bunch of animatronics stated. So the Spirit Halloween website has not physically been updated yet, but the Spirit Halloween wiki has all of this stuff announced on it. That's going to wrap up my video. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to. It is completely your choice. And always remember, don't believe everything you see on April 1st.